Hello everybody, Jediwarlock here, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce a special guest to you all, Kevin2099 Plays, a fellow Lord of the Rings Online content creator who is going to be joining me for today's video.
Hello everyone, thank you Jediwarlock for having me on your channel. It's an honor to be here. And yes, I'm also a YouTube content creator. I mostly do LotRO playthrough videos and some other games sprinkled here and there. In October I dedicate that month to play scary games in celebration of Halloween. So let's get to it, and I'll hand this back to Jediwarlock.
Kevin and I made a gameplay video together over on his channel, so make sure you also go check that out using the link in the description. Today, we're returning to the world of Middle-earth to take a look at one of LotRO's most influential systems, legendary items. Introduced in the first major expansion, the Mines of Moria, legendary items allowed players to wield an epic weapon from a past age and upgrade it as their character progressed in level and power. This system existed from its inception in 2008 until October of 2021, when the system was revamped just before the Fate of Gundabad expansion. This revamp changed some core elements of how the legendary items, or LIs, worked, which begs the question, how did the change impact player experience and gameplay in general? We'll be investigating the answer to this question, and we'll also be providing an overview of both the new and old LI systems to see how they are similar and different to one another. So, with all that being said, let's get right into it and explore legendary items. Rewinding to before the Fate of Gundabad expansion, or even all the way back to Mines of Moria, reveals a legendary item system that, in my opinion, was fairly complex and required players to manage several variables while upgrading their LIs. As players progressed through post-level 50 zones, completing quests and defeating enemies would grant an amount of legendary item experience in addition to the regular game experience, which would accumulate on each individual LI and allow it to level up alongside you. Leveling up an LI with this additional XP, known as IXP, would grant players a number of legendary item points, which players could selectively spend on certain slotted bonuses called legacies to increase their value. Essentially the old version of traceries, legacy bonuses increased the damage or effects of certain class skills, with higher ranks of those bonuses requiring progressively higher numbers of LI points to unlock. On top of legacies, each old LI could be outfitted with 4 relics, a setting, gem, rune, and bonus crafted relic, which granted additional buffs to core player stats, along with stats like critical rating, tactical or physical mastery, and morale and power regeneration. Lastly, legendary titles could be applied to weapons to increase their damage against certain types of enemies, or to grant one more buff to a player stat. Part of me is actually a little sad that they removed titles in the new system, since I found it pretty cool to be able to walk around Moria with a weapon that had the title Scion of the Drowned Kingdom. Relics and titles could not be upgraded, but they could be replaced with higher end bonuses as you found better versions throughout your adventures. Before level 100, players could visit a Forge Master every 10 LI levels to reforge their items, which gave players the option to add or upgrade a legacy, and also allowed them to rename the item and reset the LI points currently allocated on all the legacies. If players found a new LI that was more powerful than their current one, they could visit a Relic Master to deconstruct their current LI into important components, the most important of which were heritage runes. These items could be found from deconstruction, loot, or as quest and deed rewards, and were basically giant chunks of item XP that could be applied to an LI all at once. In the context of deconstructing your old weapon in favor of a new one, receiving and then using a heritage rune meant your new weapon would already be very close in power to where you had been previously, allowing you to avoid a lot of tedious catch-up using a measly level 1 weapon. Other ancillary items players might have needed at some point or another included Scrolls of Renewal, which reset the LI points on an item regardless of whether or not it was time to reforge, Legacy Replacement Scrolls, which I feel are pretty self-explanatory, Scrolls of Delving, which increased the maximum item levels available on a weapon by 10, and Upgrade Crystals, which would permanently buff the stats of any LI and could even add an extra legacy slot. There were a few other types of scrolls as well, all similar in that they deal with swapping out and upgrading legacies and relics. This process of upgrading, reforging, and swapping was simplified slightly after level 100, at which point players could imbue their weapons, locking the legacies and abilities they had placed within. From this point on, the weapons would still earn item XP, but the game system was designed so that you would never have to seek out another weapon, and instead your current LI would stay with you forever, growing in power alongside your character. This was one of the first big changes to the LI system, and is something of a predecessor to the modern upgrade process, in that it emphasized keeping your weapon for a longer period of time, instead of using weapons like stepping stones to grind toward the next power level. As you can probably gather from this section, the old LI system was a little convoluted, with players who hit level 50 being thrown into this amalgamation of legacies, relics, and reforged steps. Even after imbuing was introduced, there were still many hoops to jump through when managing your LIs, and it's not hard to see why the developers wanted to eventually phase this out in favor of the new tracery system we know today.
Okay, to talk about the current LI system here, we're going to look at Floresita's main LI right here. So there are 4 different types of traceries the current LI system has. Okay, there's Heraldic, which is this one, and that one, generally it's in the first slot in the LI. It buffs the primary stat, which is Might, Agility, or Will, and then also buffs Vitality. It also buffs a secondary stat, including Physical Mastery rating, Tactical Mastery rating, or Outgoing Healing rating. So in Floresita's case, he's buffing Might, Vitality, and Physical Mastery. Okay. And then we also have the Word of Power. That should be this one. Yes, Word of Power. So Word of Power, they provide buffs for a specific role. Offense, defense, or healing usually. So for offense, it buffs to direct, AoE, or damage over time damage criticals, number of AoE targets, range, and others. So in Floresita's instance on this Word of Power, we are buffing the area effect attack damage. We're also buffing Physical Mastery and Tactical Mastery. Of course, Floresita doesn't have any Tactical Mastery, but you know, this is the type of Word of Power for an area of effect. Okay, so he has 2 of these, one for damage, one for criticals. Alright, and then the bulk of your LI is the Word of Mastery, which basically buffs your skills, and based on the level of your LI, is basically how many of these slots you get for these. Okay, and then the last tracery is called Word of Craft, and that let's see, buffs a single secondary stat. For example, could buff Physical Mastery rating, Parry rating, etc. In this case, Floresita's buffing his Tactical Mitigation, and let's see what this one, and his Finesse in this LI right here. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the different parts of the LI here. So let's go ahead and do this. There we go. Okay, so we will talk about the parts of the trace tree here. So we're looking at the heraldry, and basically all the parts are pretty much the same in each trace tree. So first of all, you have the trace tree item level. In this case, it's 475. Okay. And again, we went over the stats a little bit. So each tracery has a minimum and maximum character level. So basically, this tracery only works when your character is between these levels. Once you get above your maximum level, in this case it's 150, once Floresita hits 151, the bonuses of this tracery will become invalid. It'll no longer be equivalent. Okay, so basically that's the time you need to replace your tracery to a higher level. Basically. Okay. So, and then you also have the item level 475, okay, which is in correlation to your maximum experience you could collect on your tracery. Okay, so we're gonna talk about adding experience to your tracery, and this is basically your experience bar here for the slot, for the tracery slot right here. So right here, which is equal, so this 475 here is equal to, where did I say, your item level of your LI, okay? So you can add experience to your tracery slot to equal to your LI through enhancement runes. So you have 4 different types of enhancement runes. I only have 3 in my inventory, but you have uncommon, which is the lowest limit, which is this one is, if I could do this real quick, there we go. This one has an enhancement limit of 460, okay, which is the lowest for a level 131 enhancement rune. Okay, the next one up is 470, which I don't have. That's called the rare. Then you also have incomparable, which it has an enhancement limit of 480. And then you have the epic, which has an enhancement limit of 490. Okay, so we are going to try and, let me see, I have a couple. Oh, let's do the Ferocious Strikes cooldown and damage. So this is a level 450 to 475 LI. Okay, and right, see, item level 450 right there. Okay, and let's go ahead. Let's remove the heraldry of the line. We'll go ahead and do this. Do Alt H to do that. Do that. All right. So let's add. So yeah, I could use this guy. We'll just do 1. See what happens. And sure. Say yes. Oh heck. Let's do all of them. Why not? Let's live dangerously. So we do 10, and it upped my critical rating a little bit there. I'm now at 460 out of 475. Okay, and again, 475 represents your LI item level. Okay, even though your tracery, okay, it says here that. Let's see, where is it? Oh yeah, your enhancement limit is 499. So you can use this in a item level up to 499 as long as your character level is still between 131 and 150. Yeah, all these, me personally, all these little levels are a little confusing to me. You have your character level, you have your LI level, you have your tracery level, right? This one's item level. This is the old one. So if we do here, see, this item level's 460 now because we just enhanced it. See, and that's okay. So that is enhancing the LI. So that's basically a basic overview of the new current LI system. So Hope you enjoyed all that, and I give this back to Jediwarlock.
After researching both of these systems thoroughly, not to mention playing LotRO during both of these methods of upgrading LIs, I personally believe the new system has a lot going for it and is overall more user-friendly and less complex. While complexity is not by default a bad thing, when it came to the old LI system, managing the different aspects of legacies, relics, item XP, titles, and LI points was tedious at best and time-consuming at worst. The introduction of imbuing was a welcome change, but considering players spent a third of their game time, from levels 50 to 100, using the non-imbued weapons, it didn't fully resolve the issue. The new system now provides players with a consistent, streamlined experience they can quickly adopt as they enter the mid and end game of LotRO.
As for myself, I'm still on the fence on which one I like better. In my opinion, the new system is still too much like the old system, just with a different flavor. I will go more into that when we talk about our ideas for improvement.
With the current system, the only thing I would consider changing would be the reintroduction of legendary titles you could apply to your weapon. I was a big fan of those, as I mentioned previously, and I think it would be a great way to customize your weapon just a little bit more without the system becoming overbearing like it was in the old days.
What I don't like about both systems is the random chance of finding a legacy/tracery you need to customize your LI. Before, you had to deconstruct an LI and hope it provides a legacy you want for your weapon. Currently, you earn a tracery box, and when opened, you get a random tracery that may or may not be beneficial to you depending on your playstyle, or even worse, picking up a duplicate tracery that you don't need. I would like to see the tracery box turned into a selection box that allows you to pick your tracery from a list. This would make the player feel more special in determining how to customize their own weapon, without it being a selection of fate by the random number generator. My second idea is to make the LI actually level with you, like as originally advertised, by removing enhancement runes altogether and let the XP the character earns from quests, monster slayings, etc. be applied to the LI directly and equally across all traceries.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning about LotRO's legendary items from Kevin and I. And if you did enjoy it, make sure to like the video, comment down below with your thoughts, subscribe to join the Jedi Order, and go check out Kevin's channel for more awesome LotRO content. If you're a fellow LotRO content creator interested in pursuing a collab, feel free to reach out to me using the email link on my channel's About page. Until next time, peace.